Thanks very much, Naomi. Just to give everybody a bit of a background on where all this came from, Ruth and Douglas used to spend a lot of time in Harklow, and they would very attentively come to the main Shannon events most years so that they could take pictures. Most of these, I believe, have been taken by Ruth, and she recorded it on a system that was known as a Super 8. It was the technology of the time. Douglas was terribly keen on it, and he, in his time, used to show his recordings in the George most winters. So, you know, we may say now that, oh, it's very shaky and it isn't the quality we expect now, but it was the quality of the 80s, and I think it shows us really some fantastic recordings of a lot of people who are no longer with us. No better place to start than we're in Jimmy Fury's yard. And we'll hand over and ask Sandra and John and Anne and Harman and Alan and Naomi to talk us through it.
That's Ted Croxon anyway.
Yeah. This is the opening of Lochrie, is it? Or is it a... Yes, I think it's the opening of Lochrie Yacht Club.
There's John Keane in the middle, looking terribly smart.
Just call it any time if anybody wants it stopped, and we can just stop and run back if we want to look at people. Lola?
Mary O'Rourke, all the politicians were there. Mary was subsequently observed in the ladies struggling into a wetsuit preparatory to going sailing. She looks very smart there in her white jacket.
No, but they yeah.
And very the man with in the background there in a red dress is Finola Reid.
That is Jimmy Reid's daughter.
Beside Jimmy.
Jimmy Reid beside her.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the eldest girl, yes. But that's not in Australia.
Finola Reid.
Finola.
Yeah.
Finola, yeah.
That's probably Alf, is it?
And Lola and Alf.
No.
And that's Peter Gray, who's from the president of the Irish Sailing Association. Mary O'Rourke, and Breffney Rowan is the man in the blazer that stepped into the photograph there. He must have been chairman of the Urban District Council in Athlone. And I think the other man was chairman of the County Council.
I think that
the man in grey, the man with grey hair there is Burke Shannon. He was the Commodore, or he was the next Commodore afterwards.
Yeah, Vice Commodore, yeah, yeah.
That's Finola there on the left.
Yeah.
Malachy Coleman there on the right, just out of the screen.
Yeah.
Ted Croxon.
That's Des Crow.
That's Georgina, isn't it?
And Jerry Sherry, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Ted Croxon.
Ted and Jimmy Fury.
Jimmy.
Another leak.
Another leak.
Una there on the right. Una Corbett on the right, back there. Michael O'Carroll there with the beard. Yeah. And Alan with his new white shoes.
Just out of Noel Donna was back to us.
Yeah.
I think that's Peter. I'm not sure.
Salesman Hoist.
Yeah, we watched it together. I couldn't log into your computer.
Oh, look at that.
No life jacket. Yo,
like
DJ.
It's like it's a pity they have to grow up, really.
Look at Alan. Look. Hello, DJ.
That was his first long distance race.
In the cockpit of the Harklow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
we all clap to this bit.
Very, very patented, yes. Oh, fireballs.
Mm.
I think that's on Loughree. I'm sure it's on Loughree.
Yeah, it's Loughree, all right.
I hear them now.
Loughree sort of wave, isn't it?
We
Oh,
didn't
I
have,
see John and Sandra. Okay, love. Thanks very much. Bye.
we didn't have fireballs in Derg since '64, and then they were down for the dinghy week in '80.
Oh no, they were there before 64 or after 64 because I remember them.
Fireballs.
Yeah, fireballs were first. Then it was the Shannon's Fireflies Enterprises. They were the 4 classes that sailed there
I remember the fireballs
in the 60s.
I remember the fireballs being
60s.
rampant in the club in the tent side.
They're yeah.
Who's the gunner?
I'll just go back a bit to Norman Long there.
Yeah, just a moment. I've just stopped that. We'll go back a fraction. There?
Yep.
Happy with that?
Yeah, the man there is Norman Long, and not sure what it might have been this event. I'm not sure.
Yes, it is.
He did PRO for you for a couple of years, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He died during the last year.
He did.
There's a good belly flop there.
God, he was an all-purpose PRO. He had the gun, the hooter, the umbrella.
And the yellow wellies.
The
Yeah.
Willies.
Very fashionable at the time.
Mm?
That's probably me, actually. Anyway.
Craig's in Bolero, the inner boat with Camlin on the outside.
Yeah.
And the racing only started there below the lock then. And that's how to launch a Shannon.
Yes.
I think that's the 99.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
It's Joanna and myself on this side, and I don't know who's on the other side.
Well, that's Georgina's dog, the white fluffy thing.
Yeah. The floor mop, as Peter used to call it. And I think that's Daniel.
Tony Dean called them the arse wipes.
Yes. Very polite.
Very polite.
And that's Peter Mull with his back to us in the dry, clean clothes.
Yeah.
And someone with a Brown Thomas bag, is it?
Probably Mary. Oh, I don't know.
Mary Carl, I think it was.
It's either her or it's I think it's Hilary.
Yeah, I think it's Hilary too. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
they're in the same clothes anyway, so they hardly change them. Swap them, I mean.
These are both just coming down, aren't they? No?
I think it was
That's
some
the
event.
People's Regatta.
I think on that day there was a thing they had the People's Regatta down in the town.
Yeah.
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 Not a great deal of wind.
Now in those days the start was at 12:30, and it's said in the report it was the 17th. It was actually the 18th of June, and there were 11 boats in the race.
The stand looks well, doesn't
John, I might chip in if that's all right, here and there for the long distance race.
Hello, Frank.
How you doing?
Frank.
I
You
was
did
going
very
to-
well in the one, Frank.
Prior to that point, we actually got a bus from at 10 o'clock from up to Athlone from Terry Glass. So just I have a few notes from them prompted by Naomi. Thank you.
That's the 71M, probably with the Crawfords coming down the barge.
Yeah.
And my notes tell me that on day 1, we heard 3 corncrakes and we heard 2 on day 2.
And that's Edwin Hunter and
Water.
Carl Hunter.
And we also saw 2 salmon in the shallows above Clonmacnoise.
Did you catch them?
No, he left them there.
We were rather busy. I was sailing 108 with a chap called Michael Carey, who some of you might know. He's started a biscuit business in Dundalk, and he's about 6'4", 6'5", but a basketball player, very light on his feet, so way too big for this. But yeah, he was superb third hand with Jimmy on the sheet.
How do you remember who sailed with you in which year?
Sorry, Matt?
How do you remember who sailed with you in which year?
Because I keep a few notes.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. That's how I know that we heard the corn
There's 1, 2, 4.
Or the salmon. Yeah.
You could have said that.
Very good.
125.
David Dixon, I think, is in the 125. I think. Yeah.
Joe Leach.
And that's John Keane with
John Keane with the cap.
And isn't that McCormick?
Yeah, Dr.
Mark.
Dr. McCormick.
There's Jimmy.
And Ruth.
Edwin with his back to it.
Hilary.
Oh, Hilary, sorry.
And Frank on the right.
And Frank. Now, Tommy Day.
John Dunlop.
Lola.
Nee.
Look at
Mickey Webb.
Mickey.
Mickey
Yeah.
Webb.
Is that John Dunlop?
Hair, with hair.
You look very smart.
Sorry, you have to go back. I was promised Michael with hair. I've never
Sorry,
seen
Caroline. Hold on.
I've never seen him with
We'll
hair.
get, there we have Michael with hair.
That's grand.
Okay.
That's grounds for divorce.
Yeah, we'll play that again. Wait, that's we're back playing again.
Send you a screenshot.
In those days, there used to be a picnic competition. And great
Simon Day on the left.
That's me. Is that Hilary?
Yeah.
Helping in the main. Really good. Malachi Coleman.
Yeah.
Alec Bell.
That's Alec Bell.
Alec Bell.
No, it's definitely not Alec Bell. It's James O'Neill.
Yeah.
He was the man who had the unfortunate incident with the 37 in Reed.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Look at all the life jackets. Look at all the life jackets.
Before we were talking about this last year, about life jackets and cruisers.
The great start.
Lovely starting.
And the big hand.
It's all a bit light wind and there, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a long distance.
Well, it's either a feast or a famine, isn't it?
There was no wind for the entire race, and I think we got in 2 legs the first day, 2 legs the second day. But what doesn't show up there is it was scorching hot as well.
It does, 'cause wearing any clothes.
Didn't get in there till 6 o'clock or later, wasn't it? Wasn't it 5:30 they got in there?
Yeah.
There's the trick. You obviously don't need your.
Why haven't you
main
got
up
your
the way.
gaff pulled up properly, Frank?
Say that again, Sandra.
Why haven't you got your gaff pulled up properly?
It's being dropped for the bridge, Sandra.
Excuses, excuses.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Woohoo.
That's the guy who used to build them all.
The grapes in the front.
Brian.
Ed with David standing behind him.
Edwin en famille.
Yeah. Ooh. Cool maneuver.
Very good.
Very good.
It was that McCutcheon's.
No, it's McNeil Moss.
Yes, but it's McCutcheon's had the boat then.
Who's actually in it now?
Neve was in it. I saw her.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's Georgina and Peter.
Georgina and Peter.
No, that's me in the bowler hat.
Is it?
Oh, you in the bowler hat, Alan, yes.
Well,
It looks like Alan.
Yeah.
Peter O'Reilly.
No. Is it? Oh, it is, yeah.
It's the 50.
That's John Keane, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I think
that's his normal position when he's not parked outside a pub in Australia.
At the 40.
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Ah, that's better. Edwin.
And the family.
They're off
That's
again.
off again.
We never were that quick in Killeens before.
So we were towed from Shannon Bridge down to Banagher for the night, and most of us were towed by Harklow, which Alan went you went to ground Alan on the helm.
I'm aware of that.
I was just slightly worried that nobody else would remember. And we ate in.
No, it's written up in Ruth's book.
Oh, well done. We ate in the Vine House in Banagher for £5. That was five own money.
You keep your accounts, Frank, do you?
I do indeed.
Incidentally, the fleet on that day didn't arrive in Shannon Bridge until 6:30, and that was why they were towed, because they were probably there till 8:30 or something.
9 with no wind.
Who's sailing the boat with the blue sail and the red tip?
Well, is that not Hatfields?
Who?
It's Hatfields.
Yeah, Hatfields.
Yeah.
Roger.
I don't think so. I don't think we did that year. We were in England. We did the regatta, but I don't think we did the long distance. We had a sail that looked like that.
A blue sail with the red tip was Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Did I have a red tip on the 124 at that time?
Yes, but you had a white sail, not a blue one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the red rum, isn't it?
That's George Henry. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Or maybe no. No, it's not.
It's a frame.
No, that's a fireboat.
Get out of the way!
John Keane, usual position.
We're sneaking a bit of wind there.
That's coming into Mealig.
Mealig, yeah.
That's coming into Mealig.
Yeah.
Oh,
bit of ballet.
Artistic shot.
Bit of ballet.
You wouldn't recognize the place now.
They have a nice walkway, haven't they now?
New
out?
walkway, yeah.
Wow.
That's Mealy Lock. Craig's. That's the next morning. You see them rowing there, the Shannon. Now, who is this lady?
I thought it was Hilary, but
there's
Jess, Jessica Guy.
Do we need to go back to that of Jess?
Yeah.
Go back to Jess.
There, we'll get her now in a moment.
You want a puppy, Mummy, or not?
I'll have one, please. Are they roasted?
There she is.
There she is.
Baked, yeah, I want.
Very
Of
small.
the dog.
Oh.
71M. Owen McNally.
Owen McNally.
People had given up sailing. Oh, look at that.
And look at the white phoenix.
Yeah.
Like a ghost.
Doesn't she look?
Steam coming out of this funnel.
We had the funnel in operation in those
Yeah.
days, yeah.
Lovely.
That's Freckles, isn't it? The dog. It was Ruth's dog.
Yeah.
Sandra, you really do have a good memory in remembering people's dogs' names.
And then we raced that final bit from the bridge into Terry Glass, getting to Terry Glass at 6 in the evening. And Mags, you very kindly towed the 108 back to Portumna for us.
Ah, very good.
Yeah. And to be left with John Lefroy, actually, and Sandra.
I see we're towing Cora. You see Cora there in the picture, our Dee. We've just discovered she's a bit older than we thought. She's 100 this year. We found a record of her racing in July 21.
Great.
1921, that was.
That is John Keane, by the way, definitely.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Cora.
Oh.
I must say, I missed that leg from Portumna into Terry Glass. It was a lovely bit of the long distance when we did it. There was just something about it. But as you know, it stopped because Terry Glass got too busy, and that was the right thing to do.
What?
We used to actually sail down to Waterloo Lodge at one stage.
Oh, that's true.
Can you stop this for a sec, Mags? Margaret.
Sure. Right, will we go back a little bit?
No, no, it's okay. Just for the record, the result was on the first day, first 108, second 127, and the
I'll
third
be back
128.
later, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I told them I was going back.
Okay.
The overall
You should
result.
be on YouTube, yeah? I'll be able to see it eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
The overall result was 108, 128, and 125, which was David Dixon.
Very good.
Well done, Frank.
Well done, Frank.
Jolly good. And then now we'll continue on to Loughrea Regatta of 88.
Just one addition to that, Michael absolutely loved it because he used to boast then he used to boast then back up in Dublin. I think he sailed with us for the centenary of the Wags, and he said, oh yes, he said, I haven't been sailing very long, but I've never lost a race yet.
Yeah.
Super, Frank. Fantastic. You remember so much.
Well, I just used to keep a few notes here and there, so that's what.
Sort of light winds seem to have followed us around that year.
Yes.
40.
33 racing, which is nice to see.
40.
Oh, 131 is around then.
The 40 is one of those dark sales.
Yes, 40 is. And that's a bit back here.
Dad, was the 138 out in 88 or was it built in 88?
Don't know.
Yes.
The cruising class.
I'm not, sorry.
I think it might have been launched at the regatta that year.
Yeah, it probably launched at the regatta that year, your mother was saying, so.
Same age as DJ. Same age as DJ.
This doesn't go on for too long, so just keep admiring it.
Yeah, this is the cruiser class which we managed to bring into the club in Lochreed. They were actually sailing on their own, and we brought them into the club, and they've been a great asset to the club.
Was that one of their first years, Harman?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, not
I'm
quite.
just not sure what year it was. Yeah.
We think we're in 88 here.
Yeah.
Now that is Paul Delany bashing Christine. There's Christine.
That's Pete. That's Pete Roy in the life jacket.
Clodagh Sheffield.
David Green walking by there.
Look, there's a McMahon. Isn't that a McMahon in
Tony
the blue
Dean
jacket?
Yourself, Sandra, and Tony Dean.
Teddy Croxon.
That Georgina? No.
There's Freckles.
Andy Wilson. That's Andy Wilson.
With the
little boy
dog?
in the blue. Yeah.
Oh, brown in the distance.
Bran.
There'll be a fight. There'll be a fight now. Brown.
There's you with Harmy in the background beside Lola.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Rory Martin.
Yeah.
And look, there's Adam and Simon. Heidi behind them.
That's Burke's Hannon, who is the Commodore then.
And his wife going to present the prizes.
Should I just
There's
stop for a moment
Andy.
and go back? There's an awful lot in that section. I'm just going to pull us back for a little bit, because there's a huge amount of people in there.
Yeah.
And it's, okay, we'll get to there again. Right, we're back playing again.
Now stop it there. We have a look.
If you go back a little bit, that's Christine, isn't it? Is that you, Christine?
I think we did have
that's me.
Gorgeous. Can spot you a mile off.
That's Pete in the life jacket there.
Right, I'm braced to stop anytime you shout.
Now,
Stop.
Is that Jane? Back there. There's Jane on the right.
That's
Is that
old Delaney's there.
with his back to us on the left?
Mary Magner with her back to us.
Yeah.
On the left.
And that's one of the Magner boys.
In the white.
In the white.
Is it William?
Will, I think.
Would he be that big? Oh, he would, of course, yeah. Maybe.
Right, okay, we'll move on a bit.
So that's Clodagh Sheffield.
Yeah.
In the
Malachy Cullen.
Malachy.
Sinead Reid and Turlo McMahon.
McMahon, yeah. And Christine in the foreground.
Is it Derek? No, don't.
Now stop again.
Tony Dean, of course.
Yeah, Lola and Anne in the distance.
And Lola on the window.
And Anne is, with Harmy behind her.
Okay, and the other thing is the Starter's Hut is there for a lot of people who may not see much of the Starter's Hut.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that might be Clara Delany in the yellow top. Would it be?
It looks right. There's Clara before then. So that's right.
Yeah, I thought it looked like Clara.
Why do I always have a glass in my hand when they take photographs of me?
You look dreadfully glamorous, though, Sandra.
Don't I? I look quite clean.
You're not asleep in bed.
It's the only thing that makes you smile in front of the camera as well.
Well, that's true. Thank you. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate your
Did you see Maud Brown in the background up there as well?
Is that, or is that?
Not in this one, in the previous frame.
That's me and Harmy. Now, this is a great
stop.
photograph.
Sorry. I've stopped, but it's not very good. Let's go and stop again.
Let it go on,
Here's
yeah.
Leslie.
There we are. That's better.
Stop. Now that's Rory Martin on the left.
Yeah.
Sinead's got the diamondy top on her. Leah's got a life jacket on. Gerard Gork is there. Beside Adam Hatfield. Mark Rafter in front of Adam.
There he is down here.
And there's Philip Day in the background.
Who?
Behind Philip Day. Behind Una
There he
and
is,
Leah.
Yes, yeah.
Is that Liz McGrath in the front? With the who did you say that was?
Yeah, it is. It is Liz.
Wow, fantastic.
And Leslie in the background, yeah.
Leslie is there, yeah.
I'll carry on.
Keep going.
Slowly.
We're back moving.
Oh, there's Martin Ryan.
Okay, stopped again.
Simon beside Adam.
Yeah. And that's Veronica Tierney in the red coat at the back, two
Right.
behind Simon.
Wife there.
Peggy?
Peggy.
Yes. Peggy Waller.
Vanula Reid. There.
Jimmy and Nora.
And that's Robin Donna there, who comes running.
Hold on. Go back to Robin. Oh. John attending to the dog fight. Rory again.
No, who's the kid?
Oh, there. Yeah.
Oh, there. That's Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mum knitted that jumper for Dad, and it had Sod 71 written on it. It was quite sweet.
Remember that, yeah.
There's young Pete, Andy Wilson, and
Joe Groark.
Joe Groark.
Groark, yeah.
That's Pete in the life jacket standing up.
It is indeed.
There's Crosby up there in the hedge.
That's Owen Delaney's son Paul and Claire sitting on the ground as well near the front.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And is Ruth there as well with the red hair?
Des Crossdale, of course, in the foreground there.
And that's Terry.
Oh, would you look who it is?
Edwin.
And there's Edwin.
Sorry.
Look at you, Dad.
Hold on a second.
The terribly handsome fellow.
Some of these pictures, you really see why their sons look like, how much their sons look like them.
That's like Harmy.
Sorry, did I see Jimmy Fury there in that photograph? Did I?
Look at the legs on that.
Oh, David's very hairy, isn't he? And there's Vincent Rafter.
Alf.
Oh, fantastic.
Ted Croxon. No, it's not. It's Derry O'Dowd, was it?
Yeah, I'm
down.
George.
Oh.
Prize for Smithy. George. Owen.
Oh, Owen.
Vincent in the background of all these shots. Oh, he's gone now.
Who's that now?
Johnny Henry.
Oh, that's Jonathan Henry. Yeah.
Johnny Henry, yeah.
When it was cool to have beer towels sewn onto your arse.
You should bring that back.
Absolutely, always cool.
Jane Wilson.
There's
Rose.
Jane, yeah.
Una,
And Artie and Una.
And the annual photograph.
Photograph, yeah.
Brilliant.
Joe Groark.
There's Susie Wilson in her yellow wellies and Niamh Collins beside her.
Have we seen enough of that one? Will I let it keep running?
You let it keep. Yeah.
Right, we're now moving on to Lough Derg.
Wow, good weather
There's
again.
this fantastic raft stop in the middle of the lake, which is lovely.
I think it was the day we went down to Gary Kennedy. That's the Sunbeam closest to us.
I love a glass of
Phoenix.
I love a glass of wine. White. Yeah, please.
Red rum.
That's the red
Red
rum.
rum.
With Jonathan Henry on the helm.
Terry
For those of you who don't know, the boat on the left there is the Valencia, which Sandra would explain a bit more about. But
well, it was
I'm just going back a fraction so we can see a bit more of her. That's her there.
Yeah,
there actually in the foreground side.
She belonged to George and Adrian's father, and when he died, Adrian took her over, and then George used her for a number of seasons. She's now gone to the Thames, I think.
She was on the Worcester Canal, and then I think she's moved again. She wasn't originally a police doctor's launch on the River Thames.
She was resold about 7 or 8 years ago in London.
There you go.
She was very elegant and acutely uncomfortable.
Adrian, as far as I understand, Adrian and his father were cruising on the lake up from Killaloo, and father dropped dead.
No, it was George actually.
It was George.
George actually.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to get the boat ashore and then go and summon aid. It was all very. He was a medical student at the time, I think, but it was all very traumatic.
Rotten.
Is that the Harklow there as well, is it?
That's the Harklow, yeah.
Harklow.
Restroom.
That's you there, Dan.
That's
I was 40 years of age.
Joe Leach.
Yes, the wire rope.
The wire rope, yeah, exactly.
This is lovely, everybody. Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely fantastic.
As the Eureka.
Yes.
And the Anna Marguerite. The Sunbeam.
And
there's the Sunbeam.
Janie Mack.
Janie Mack, yeah.
Look at the swim.
Sunbeam was a launch, an Admiralty launch. I don't know where she is now. She went down to New Ross for rebuilding, but I never heard anything more from her.
I think it was bought by somebody in Waterford. The last time I saw it, it was going up through Shannon Bridge, and it had obviously been in the canal or something for quite a long time, because it had a peculiar waterline at 45 degrees across the back with a sort of a diesel water. But apparently somebody brought it to Waterford. I never heard of it after that.
No, she went to Waterford for rebuilding. She was taken apart, and they took all the bits and went off to Waterford with her. But I don't know whether she was supposed to have been rebuilt for the tall ships visit to Waterford. But anyway, there we go.
Well, if they ever get it going again, I have the instructions for the engine. It had a Brook engine.
It had, yeah, 100-horse Brook.
Have them here.
No, this is the 1133. I think is Pete, and Andy Wilson is in the thick of that somewhere too. Sailing round the Goose Island.
And the Danica in the background.
In the days when lots of boats moored on
That's right.
Goose Island for the regatta.
That's
hated being on Goose Island.
It's Ailish Breen in the blue Oppie, and I'm in the blue sail there.
That's Pete, and is that Andy? Go on, drive him up on the
Breen
island.
and that blue Oppie.
Best racing we've seen.
One, luff him up.
Up on the island.
Drive them up onto the rocks.
All being rescued by the willies in their lake boat.
And then one capsizes.
Sam, you shouldn't have said anything. You're going pear-shaped.
Oh no!
Well done, Sam.
I thought he said he never capsizes.
It's not true.
The team racing, by the way, was the in Oppies was the bicentenary, or not bicentenary year, but 1972.
That's right.
Zach.
The wreck of the Hesperus.
Who's that?
Right, we're just coming to the end of this particular tape, and we've got another one that we're starting on, so that's why it all looks a little strange. Back straight to into Oppies again. Now this is a different year, so it could well be a different bunch of kids in the boat.
The yellow boat with the yellow white sail is Sunshine. That was Reed's.
I think it's in Ree, is it?
Yeah, he's moved up to Lockery again.
Yeah.
Sam hasn't capsized yet.
Is that down Hannibal?
I see a mark here on it, I think. Fish's son.
That's Drummondere, is it? That's Drummondere.
That's Drummondere again. Back to Derg again.
That was quick.
Bit more kicker.
Yes.
On 4.
This is in the days when you could never see the marks. They were just a flag on a post, and they were the most irritating damn things. But that was the reality at the time.
That's John doing a rescue in Terry Glass.
You?
Yes, I'm in the bow.
Yeah, both with their life jackets on. I'm delighted to see. The clients had abandoned the boat, but they seem to have left all their washing behind.
How did they get off, Smithy? Because the punt is astern.
Suppose
Walk ashore.
God knows. I have no recollection of this, by the way.
Well, you were probably...
That's probably because it happens so often.
It was probably in the days before the ONLI became a rescue boat company, and they used to collect lives. And
Exactly.
Well, that's true, yeah. She's leading in hand very nicely, though, isn't she?
I was about to say she wasn't very hard aground.
No.
No.
Done with long hair.
Looks like Darth.
He didn't cycle ashore anyway.
Don't forget your knickers.
I think that could be
That's
Frank
exactly
Brown's boat
what you're
now.
thinking, John.
Well, we seem to have taken it in tow at that stage, don't we?
It's not sinking.
Not sinking.
Salvage.
Athlone Bridge
Athlone.
and the White Phoenix.
With the red rum in tow and a clatter of sods.
Yeah, watch out for yourself. You'll see yourself on the red rum in a minute, David.
Probably salvaging her.
Probably, yeah. Unless it was the time Pete drove her up on the bank.
Love it when your parents let you down.
That's Pete beside the mast.
That's Pete beside the mast, yeah. Yeah. We had an awful lot of boats in tow. Was that the time Sod turned over below Mealick Lock with the Optimist, didn't Davy?
No, that year we had the Jezebel and the red rum.
Right. There you are.
Yeah. Only, yeah, with the optimist in the sod.
Yeah.
So whose was the green boat?
Dean's, no?
No.
No, it's not the right green for Dean's.
Is that the 55?
Could have been.
Cubit.
Could have been 55.
Is she not yellow?
I think the film has slightly faded.
What's that? Snag and back on the ground.
This is the Princess Gale, is it? As committee boat?
There's goes the bang.
I used to get turfed off it. I was anchored at Kilteela and I'd get turfed off it. Jeff O'Donoghue would come out in the morning about 8 o'clock and tell me to go ashore. And I'd get it back in the evenings then.
Here's Drummond.
Drummond for some.
Yeah.
We get a boat.
Used to hire boat.
Who's that?
I know.
Was that Eric?
It looked like
Eric wondering.
Hold on a second.
That's Nigel, isn't
Just
it?
go back in case. That's Nigel and Sue, I think. Right. That's far enough back.
No, that's it. Start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Eric.
Yeah.
Nigel Smithwick.
Yeah.
There's some lamb kebabs there. There's 3 chicken breasts, and then there's rashers.
This is good.
I don't mind what we eat. If you want, maybe you want to make your chicken cacciatore.
Right, Vanessa.
No, Vanessa.
What was that?
Your dinner arrangements.
Sorry. Can I have some wine?
Can I have some wine?
That's Sue, isn't it?
Justin McKenna, I think, in the Mamie.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it could be Angus up in well.
Tisson's. That was Una's pussy.
Beg your pardon.
Tony?
Dean. Is that his birthday party, Dave?
Oh, look. That's peas in the bow.
It's 82.
82.
For those of you who don't know, Tony used to have his birthday party at Plummet, his unofficial birthday party.
Well, it was his official birthday party. His real birthday was in June, but things got a bit out of hand. Ed Croxton.
No, who's on that?
Their collection of boats, anyway. They seem to have had a hire boat for the day, anyway.
What?
Donal?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Two children in the bow there. Sorry, we have a little bit of that. Yeah. Who's got the child hanging out off the bow? 82. Oh, Pete.
Just surprised I was awake.
You probably right.
And sober.
I hear I was 8. Come on.
Oh, a bit more wind. $130.
This is Colin Barrington in the 130.
Hmm.
$56 on the left. 81.
Oliver Goodbody turned up at one of these regattas. I can't remember which one now. With the boat. That's the 75, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, with the funny transom. That's the 102, the dark boat, I think. Is it? Or is it? No, it's the 56.
Oh.
I beg your pardon.
I think that's the 124 with the 37 sail up.
God, Mr. Barrington.
Yeah. Brian Bond there, I think, with the blue sail that time.
Leeches.
Lowland Joe behind.
Kieran's in the 50 there as well, in the white boat.
That's me in the 76. Oh.
Yeah.
60.
That's the back of Peter Lobbs. Oh, not
Unmistakable.
that's yes.
Yes. Peter and Pat. And Artie on the left.
Yes, the Darty. And Hilary in the bow.
Have we any idea what this is?
Drummond Regatta.
Pat on the right, just the Navy jumper.
Oh. No, it's which event?
I wonder, are we in Drummond in 86? Is what I suspect we could be.
Yeah, I think we think it's 86 for some reason.
Yeah, but where is it and what is it?
Oh, it's Drummond.
It's Drummond.
Ah, it's Drummond, of
Ted
course.
Croxton.
Yeah.
Would Ted Croxton go to Drummond?
Those funny marks, they were, we borrowed them from somewhere up there, I think. Never saw them anywhere.
If you go back to the picture of the parents, I think Richard Arman.
Yeah, Ted used to go to Drummond.
Yeah, but I think Richard Arman was on board the Delany cruiser at the time. You want to go back on that, Mark?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just flash back for a moment on there. Right, I'll go to there. We certainly did hire a cruiser up from Carrick a couple of years for Drummond. So
yeah.
potentially it was one hired by the parents.
It just looks so sunny and warm and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we brought them down. We brought them down early in the morning. We were fog bound for a while with the hire boats on the way down.
Yes,
that is Richard Arman in the middle.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah, and that's Andrew O'Hanlon on the left.
It was Artie.
It was Artie.
Oh, it was Artie, was it?
Artie, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ted. Reggie. It's Johnny Henry, isn't it?
I was just wondering.
Finally, some jibe mark action anyway.
On to Derg again.
$56.
All spent.
Pink Panther. 119.
Yes, I suspect. But was it Shane White at the time?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like a drum.
Oh, it
that
is
start.
Drummond. It is Drummond.
Is it?
It's the same mark.
Wow. Big start.
Yeah, good turnout.
Yeah.
Sure, this is Doug.
I'm sure it is.
72.
That's a Doug mark.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a Derg mark, John?
I think,
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
this is Doug.
This is Derg.
That
Maybe
last
it is, maybe it is.
big pan was looking up towards the Carkeens from Gary Kennedy.
Well, maybe you got.
There's far too many boats for Drummond.
Okay, well then maybe Artie brought marks from Drummondere to Drummond that year.
Possibly.
That's quite possible.
Also looks like the bolero in the background there.
It does, yeah.
Was, yeah.
Georgina.
I think you're in near Rinskaheen or Reggie's.
I think it's Rinskaheen Bay.
Yeah.
Barrack Bay.
Barrack Bay.
Look at the rainbow sail. Love it.
Tom Saunders' rainbow sail.
Tommy Saunders.
Just, I mean, way ahead of its time.
Georgina.
Now we've.
Peter Mull.
Where the hell are we now?
Well, I think we're in Drummond.
We're back to Drummond.
Drummond,
I
yeah.
think we never left, actually.
It looks like Risky Lock, is it?
No, it's Drummond.
It's in the harbour.
It's Drummond.
Ted.
His cunning little dodger.
Joe Leach.
Leach.
Jim.
Barrington.
Yeah.
Moira.
The very Pink Panther, or the not so Pink Panther, perhaps.
Peter Quigley.
Peter Quigley, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and Lola Ann in the middle there, the little one.
Anne, yeah.
Hold on, I'll stop that and catch them again.
The blonde bombshell.
I'm not sure that wasn't Anna with her back to us as well in the red.
Was, yeah.
Right, okay, just, if you want me to stop it, just shout.
No, stop. That's Anna with her back to you and Lola Ann facing you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that looks right. And we move on to Lockery. 86.
I love that Georgina still has fabulous white trousers, no matter what.
She must have somebody cleaning them for her.
They were the ones Peter had on in Athlone.
Right, Henry, after his swim in the morning.
Oh, a good night, Mark.
80.
I think I could go with starboard Mark.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Did he? Didn't he?
Lots of shouting.
Peter Quigley.
That's Peter,
Quigley.
yeah.
Quigley.
That's Roger in the background.
And Edwin, is it?
In the orange, I think, is it? No, it's not actually.
I think that's Sally Shaw Smith, and I think they were filming for some reason there.
It was the Hand series.
Yeah,
And
I think it was.
David just passed away. He got this the Rock Hopper.
Well, I said that, but I was contradicted.
That's not the Rock Hopper.
No, it isn't the Rock Hopper.
No. That boat belonged to a guard called Fox, and it was kept down below Reinhardt's house now.
Yeah, it had a Lister engine in it.
Anyway, David Shaw Smith, who filmed the Hand series, just passed away about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was Sally.
Well, Lockery with caravans in the background on the north.
If that was David Shaw Smith, if he was filming, that was 1985.
This is 86. Yeah?
And this is supposed to be 86.
Yes.
He, I think he did another bit for Jimmy's, the one he was doing for Jimmy, which is different. Oh, was that the one? Did he only do one of Shannon's?
He only did one on the Shannon.
He may have come
back for more.
He may have come back for some top up of film or fill in or something like that.
That is, of course, inaccurate. It wasn't the 150th anniversary. Hardress Waller, I think, found out that it was 1835, some years after that, rather than 1836.
That's correct. We were living in ignorance in those days.
No internet.
No internet. Yeah.
That's Shane, isn't it?
That's great.
Or Graham.
Rum.
Cruising company to Gary Kennedy.
Oh, the Optimist is still on the roof.
The flags are still up.
Yeah, very.
When did the Phoenix become black?
That's the Bishop, yeah.
That was before the big raft up.
You know, it's literally like looking at a mixture of Dave and Pete when you see John.
That's just as well, isn't it?
Who are you trying to insult?
That's a very unusual photograph of the Sunbeam underway.
Yes.
It has to be said that Pete dressed as a lady once at Wolf Regatta, and it was the spit of Smithy.
Terrific picture of Charles Whitten.
The balloons were suitably sized, Johnny, yeah?
No comment.
Peter Dobbs.
It's Kodak 125 or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Up to date.
Gary.
That's Gary Kennedy, and for those
before the the old harbour.
Yeah.
Just when I see Harklow there, you may be aware that I sold her to Johnny Swan. And Johnny,
there.
and you probably know already. Anyway, Johnny Swan has Dougal doing an amazing job on it. And she will just be, I'm so happy about it. Because Johnny is doing all the things I would have loved to have done. And she should really be magnificent next year.
Good.
I'd let you know.
Right.
That was the Adventure
Changsha.
earlier. And the Adventure was ahead of her.
It was.
Cubic, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Wilson's.
That was the year the Golden Panda came to Dublin Zoo.
Ming Ming and Ping Ping.
There you go.
Dave wins a prize for remembering Ming and Ping Ping.
And there's Simon, the dog.
And Penny.
That's the Bolero alongside the Phoenix. That was an awful party.
You remember it?
Oh,
There
really?
is such a thing?
I vaguely remember it.
No Pims.
The Wilsons?
Does Andy look like Peter?
Yeah.
There goes Susie.
Gary Kennedy?
Artie coming out as Taxi.
There just wasn't room in.
No, we didn't manage to get in, and I think because we had to compensate for not being able to get to the pub. We had to do something about it. It was a very boozy affair.
Johnny, I'm not 100% sure you mightn't see the Jarrah appear in this. If I recall, she was in the Old Harbour that day.
Is that the Kelly Rogers on the left?
No,
No.
no, it's a Birchwood 25.
A lot of boot dressage, isn't it? Oh.
Was that Charlie or Matilda?
Queen's dinner.
Johnny.
I think that might have been David Miller's cruiser.
Mm.
He had one like that initially, didn't
I can say that the design of harbours hasn't improved over the past 30 or 40 years.
he? You have to go back 150 to get it right, Peter.
Look at the throngs. Jesus.
Got me with the days when you could have a drink in a pub
and drive home.
He had the challenge of Holy Hour.
Well, true.
I think that was the O'Donoghue's boat beside the Changsha, the father
Yes,
cruiser.
they could well be right.
Mm-hmm.
Who was on Changsha at that time?
Might have been Prentice and
Dave
no, it might
McFarlane?
have been Prentice and McFarland and co.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably Robert Kelly, isn't it?
That's your job.
That's
Oh, water.
Peter fishing for cormorants.
Fantastic with so many boats dressed overall.
Janie Mack there.
Yeah.
There's dreadful holding in that anchorage, by the way, for anyone who wants to try it.
That's the adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the adventure.
Yeah.
What anchorage is that?
Gary.
Just outside Gary.
Oh, right, yes.
That's Bolero.
Bishop.
Bishop.
The cages. And there's the dinghy off the Harklow, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it was with Cora.
Painted ship upon a painted ocean. God.
Tom Kelly, with the yellow sail.
Yes.
Isn't that the
Venus.
The Venus, yeah. Taken from Goose.
When there's nowhere else to go, we'll just make a jetty. Pretty much like you, Alan.
Is that the is that the Venus backing into the side of the?
I think so. Yes.
Mm.
Charles Whitten would have gone down.
Moving a rudder
well.
from the jazz.
Would have gone all down awfully well.
Looks like Nicky Kerr, maybe. I couldn't. That's Tommy.
Henry's.
David.
That's Ardres.
Oh, it's nice with it.
Teddy Knight.
Or crew.
I know.
Shiny Weenie.
And Alan. Louis.
Oh,
Louis.
Louis.
Louis Courtney.
Go and hide.
Tack.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fury. 74.
Who's the 74 again?
William Reed, wasn't it?
William Reed, yes,
Yeah.
that's
Some people are taking out wide in tight to an
That's
extreme.
Reinhardt.
Looks like Reinhardt's all right.
It was.
Anna Hassett.
Mamie. That's the Mamie, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Jock Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. yes.
Broken leg.
Not yet. That was later. Tom. And that's the 80, isn't it? Head.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that the hookers in the dark blue, light blue sail?
No, that's Jane Wilson, isn't it? The 131.
Yes.
Yeah, the 131 had the two blues.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
This is when we all rafted up with the Goose.
Oh, these are great photographs. Stop it here now.
There's
You've got young Kelly.
In the
Yeah,
yellow.
stop
Con
it.
Jack.
Con Jack.
Con Jackson.
Now, you've got Sarah Miller, Joe Leach. Oh,
We're just going back, Anne. So
very
just
great.
we have about 5 minutes left.
There's St. James.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
St. James.
Oh.
No, there's great photographs.
Right.
The
Stop
yellow
that.
is Tom Kelly's son.
Robert.
Who's oldest Paul Delaney's getting a huge amount of airtime here. So he was a good few times before, and if you roll forward like 10 seconds, you'll see him in the bottom left corner as well. I think he seems to be in every single sort of group shot.
Stop there.
That's Peter Gleason, extreme left.
Peter Gleason.
And Con.
And Con
Con
Jackson.
Jackson.
And Tommy
And
Day.
Joe Leach
And Joe
to
Leach.
the left.
And the kids, I don't know who they are.
Luna.
And Sarah Miller.
Sarah Miller.
That's
Paul.
Duncan Bay.
Duncan Bay.
Duncan with a hat on.
And
Neve.
Crawford
Is that
Drive.
That's David Miller.
Aggie.
That's
Oh, yes,
Duncan Aggie, yeah.
And
The child, I think, is Paul Delaney.
It's Paul.
Yeah.
oh,
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
right, yeah.
It is.
And Neve.
who's the lady in the yellow?
Aggie Bain.
Aggie Bain.
The Bane.
And who's the chap with the great mustache behind her?
Don't know.
That's
And
Ardres.
Sorry.
Ardres.
That's Julie, isn't
I'll
it?
go back again for a moment. Oh, hold on. I've gone back a bit further than I intended. We'll cope, I'm sure.
I could read
We're nearly into it.
They're great
Hold on.
photographs.
Yeah, I'll pull boards for action. There we are. We're into it.
They are.
John Jackson.
Oh, Sarah Miller.
I don't know who the man of the beard is.
Yeah, Sarah Miller.
And there was Beatty over there.
No, that's not actually Beatty. Beatty's over on the right. You'll see him again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Beatty.
Okay, I've stopped you again. Keep moving. There's Beatty.
Oh yes, that's right. Right.
Oh,
that's
John. I'm talking to Hardress.
In the middle foreground, Peter Mull, Joe Leach,
Alan Algeo.
and
There's Ruth
George
Delany.
Ruth at the front, yeah.
And that's
George Hooker was
Oh,
there.
Donald.
And before that was Reinhardt.
Yeah, Andy.
Oh, look, there's Donald Jr.
Just a moment, I'll go back a fraction. Okay, we're off again.
And they talking to Una.
And
me.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, you're right, David Miller.
Hardress checking.
And got a great. Oh, there's George Hooker.
Yeah, George Hooker there.
So that young lad coming through is
Reinhardt, Andrew.
Yeah.
Donald and John. John making his speech. There he is.
In the name of God.
And that's John Tierney.
Mr. Tierney.
There's Philip.
Then
Jay in the middle.
That's young.
In the middle of the picture.
That girl. Oh, and there's Dean.
David Dean.
And that's, don't know.
That's a rocking jacket for the 80s. Wow.
There's
Owen.
John King.
He's got a cap on.
Who's that chap now? Who's that?
That's Harry.
Harry Croxton.
Harry Croxton, yeah.
Wow, Harry, smashing.
Tommy.
That's Tommy.
And that's
Shane White.
Shane.
Shane, you see yourself? Oh.
And that's me giving out the prizes.
Yes, looking very glamorous.
Oh, thanks very much.
That's David Dean in there in the back, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Pat.
That's
You can see off the centre left as well.
and that's Ruth.
Hilary.
Hilary.
And behind David Dean, I think it's Peter Swift.
Which is,
Yes,
yes,
you're right. You're right.
You're right.
I love Ruth's
And
like
Rachel Leach.
perfect plats.
His son Graham looks identical to
Oh,
him
look
now.
at Peter.
Oh, Andy Wilson is the spitz of Peter. Holy moly.
And here's Shane again.
Yeah.
Straight up the start of Baywatch there.
Up your zip.
Who's that on the table at the back? Is that
Oh, look at Alan.
Oh, there's
Wow.
me.
Going in for stick, Alan.
Who's the girl on the
There's Jane.
table?
Yeah, Jane, brilliant.
Rachel just behind David.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
See Ruth there with her red plaits. Joe Leach always, he could never remember her name and he always referred to her as the job with the plaits.
Leave there.
Who's the man beside Peter Swift? I know his face from the regatta.
So we've got to the end of the regatta now. We're just going down the lake afterwards, I think.
Yeah.
We're just coming to an end.
Ryan's Point.
There is just a couple of minutes on the lake, which is rather nice at the end, quiet and peaceful after the hectic regatta.
I think the job will be that as this is recorded, we go back towards it, and I said you can actually screenshot it, and I said have a picture, and I said just have little tags of this is Alf, and this is Pat, and this is Ted Croxton, and all these sort of people. So there will actually be a record, because now we've actually kind of recorded it. It's beautiful to have sort of just pictures and videos and a reference point of like who's who as well.
Sounds like a job that you've just volunteered yourself for, Mark.
It's a job for someone born in 19.
Well done, Mark.
You know, when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with the baby, perfect time then.
Yeah.
Anyone born in the 40s, it's like job done. It's your job. Who am I to recognize someone from, as of 1988 when I was 7 or 8 or there?
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Wonderful.
Well done. Well done,
I'll hand you
everyone.
back to
Thank you so
Naomi.
much.
Oh, me? Oh, hello, thanks, Max. Great, thank you very much, and a huge thank you for, we had permission to view that, and that's obviously Ruth Hurd's footage, so we're very grateful that we could. I think looking at my soda stats, that was the best attended session so far. Does anyone have any comments? I know we had comments throughout. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Hilary's saying something there, I think, Naomi.
You're on mute.
She's muted.
For a second.
Hi, Reggie.
Harman. Yeah. Yeah. Just hold on a second.
I'm not sure. I've just checked. I've asked Hilary to unmute. I'm not sure if she was trying to add a comment there or not. Does anyone else have any comments or questions? Or although we don't have a specific speaker to pose a question to, but
how many people?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much to everybody. It was a lovely presentation, and it's nice to know that we're all part of history, whether we like it or not.
You know what they say, that infamy is second only to fame.
Well, as Oscar Wilde said, there's only one thing worse than not being talked about, or no, only one thing worse than being talked about, and that's being not talked about.
Oh, hi, Sheila.
I'll just tell you a little, I don't know whether an anecdote is the right word, but when I saw Peter Swift there, I can't remember what boat he had, but he had a white coloured boat. And,
he had a kilt. He had a kilt.
What number was it?
Bruiser or Shannon?
134.
Shannon, and Peter Swift.
134.
134.
134, okay. Anyway, so he left it up, I think it was probably to Reggie's. And at the same time, Peter O'Reilly put his boat in. What number was it?
133.
Okay, so he put his one in, you see, to have work, both painted, I suppose, or whatever. Anyway, Peter Swift came up to pick up his boat from the yard in Portumna and saw it there. So, oh, that's great. Somebody's put Swift on the back of my boat and drove off with it home. It was actually Peter O'Reilly's boat, which is called Swift. Anyway.
Very good.
Great. Any closing comments or questions? I don't
Naomi, I think there is one thing worth saying. Ruth recorded a huge number of these, which we about 15 years ago, she and Jerry concocted that we would put them onto CD. So we do have quite a few more. If there was interest, we could run another session for different years. So maybe if we could get a quick response on the chat room, would that be to see if there's any interest in running another session? We've certainly had a huge number of attendees tonight, far more than we've had in the past.
I'm going to add a quick poll, Mags. Oh, yeah.
Yes, please. I think it's a quick answer for everybody.
Yes, here. Actually, do you know what? I'm not even going down the poll route because that's too complicated.
59. We had 59 tuned in tonight.
Mags, it's it's very important that we record who these people are, because the photographs are fine, but they're not going to be recognized in 10 or 15 years' time. So if those recordings can be put over there, it would be very valuable for history.
Yes, one of the things we felt about tonight, that tonight's is being recorded, so all the comments and the names as people are shown will be recorded on this. But it's quite difficult to get it any more extensively documented. I think maybe if anybody has any particular suggestions, it would be great to do something more with them, because they really will stand up to the test of history. We're already looking at them 30 years afterwards and remembering how old we are now.
Do I gather from Winky Nixon on the IYA or whatever it is, that this is going on YouTube? Is that right?
We're
already on YouTube.
All right, we're already on YouTube.
Commenting.
Social media.
Actually, Peter, you were on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I got your consent too. Yes, so there are previous videos that are up on YouTube. So you can go on, if you type in Shannon One Design Association into YouTube, you should find all our videos there as well.
All right, great. So we would get all the history and of who is who and who is where and what is who and all that sort of stuff on that. Like who is the guy with the light blue, dark blue sail and the all right, great.
So it takes some
To
time.
answer your question, Peter, the recordings of the shows that we've done have been uploaded onto YouTube.
Oh, right.
So your talk from previously, etc.
So I just have to type in Shannon One Design Association and go from there. Is that it?
Exactly. Yep.
And Peter, if you look at your bank account, you'll notice the royalties coming in.
Well, if I had a bank account to look at.
I was thinking in 31 years again, if we were to look back on the history, we would have Mark Delany's excellent drone shots of the class, which are amazing that he did this year. Thank you very much, Mark. But we wouldn't have any of those kind of like personalized shots, the close-ups that we do. You know, there's the casual 5-second videos that we saw there. And maybe as a thought, we would do that a bit more.
Yes.
We all have cameras in our pockets.
Yeah. Brilliant photos, but it's a little bit more, I think, to capture a video after watching it there was a little bit more special from my point of view. It wasn't even live.
There's plenty odd against it. Never been more than about 30 man.
Marcus, what are you hearing, Mark? Drone. And we have bonus content for you this evening.
Careful what you put up now, Mark.
Baby pictures. No.
What's that there,
Screen
Mark?
sharing. What's that say?
Pornography you're putting up.
Remember we had a conversation on the rule changes a few weeks ago.
Don't tell me they're changing the rules again.
Well, I just saw all the colouredy sales, and I think we should all go back to colouredy sales. And I was thinking, how would you do it? Maybe we could do something like they do in the Leaving Cert for Irish. Give a 10% advantage for anybody who showed up with a colouredy sale.
Yes.
The trouble is, Jonathan,
you can do it in the dining room.
Jonathan, if you had a coloured sale, you'd be even more conspicuous when you were over the line.
Yeah.
Jenny, as a co-runner of Goose Island, you know that we already give a 10% advantage to anyone who turns up with a coloured sale.
I don't know. I think let's have a coloured clue is a good idea. So I think if people have a coloured clue, it basically means when you're over the line, you're fine. But I said when you look at a picture from 30 meters away, you can actually see what's going on. So if people had a clue, blues, pink, yellow, green, purple, people would recognise it.
It could be a good laugh just trying to pull them through.
There's no problem there. So I would strongly encourage the clue.
Perhaps for our centenary year, we could bring back some of those coloured sails. They're all lying around in lofts. I can certainly lend somebody a blue one if they're interested.
Yellow one, the blue one.
We have several in the attic, I think.
Yeah.
Well, if I may segue into centennial discussions, thank you so much, everybody, on behalf of the subcommittee for your submissions to the publication. We're now just kind of gathering the last few, and if any of you guys would like to or are still due, if you could get them in the next week. I'm looking at a few specific people, but I have to say the standard of writing is fantastic, and if you think today has like struck nostalgic chords, wait till you see the stories that you guys have all written. They're fantastic. Thank you. So keep them coming. You've 1 week left.
I'm writing as you speak, Vanessa.
Who said that?
Dan.
Dan. Hi, Dan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But I think the only way I can sort of get over the technology is actually to photocopy it and get my daughter Sarah or one of the children to email it to you. That's really about it.
You can throw it in the post. We'll take anything. A voice recording of your musings, if you prefer. Whatever.
No, I might have to send it by snail mail then.
Oh, we love that.
Okay.
Best
All right.
with the postman. Absolutely.
I just have to get a couple of photographs done as well.
Oh, thank you.
And just thank you very much indeed for everyone for organising this. It's really lovely. But the only thing is, Johnny, if you're thinking about coloured sales, if you're going to barge in the way you did one time, I'd be very grateful if you could serve notice and put on a red sale.
I'd be happy to run a red sale if I get my 10% anytime. I actually would love to have colours. I think they'd be brilliant. It was one of the things. I actually showed up for the first time in 1995. Stephen Tierney and myself, Stephen Tierney invited me to sail the 145 with them. And I think I brought a video camera. I was the inspector for the ISA that year, and I took video footage on a fancy camcorder that I bought to cycle around Ireland and go to the clubs. And I have some footage of Lough Derg, so I might dig it out. I haven't seen it in nearly 30 years, so I might dig it out, but we'll see.
Anyway, red sails in the sunset, Johnny. Good to see you.
And you know, we wouldn't be doing any of this only for COVID.
Yes.
And Naomi.
And Naomi.
And the whole committee of Soda. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Really.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very interesting.
And thank you very much to and Hilary for the
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well done.
Definitely. See you, Max. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Signing off.